Welcome. We've got a new moon in Cancer today. And I thought it would be really nice to give you some information on it and then to also do a pick a pile for a little energy reading, a little reading for you guys to help settle you or understand what is going on for you during this new moon. So, first of all, new moons are incredibly poignant times to set intentions. So, whatever intentions you set today is going to work in a cycle that works twofold. In astrology, the moon cycle is about every 2 weeks. So right now, the new moon will come to full fruition in the full moon in 2 weeks from now in Capricorn. It also works in a 6-month cycle that usually we start to see the progress in about 2 weeks. We start to see the path unfold or the clarity around whatever it is that we're trying to manifest. There's usually some sort of nugget, aha moment, something along those lines. And then because astrology works in opposition, we have about a 6-month cycle span from whatever intentions we set today to Capricorn season, where we will have a full moon in Capricorn during that season. And that is usually when we see the cycle wrap up or come to fruition in a deeper way. We started to see the path, but now we actually obtained the thing. It depends on what it is that you're trying to manifest, if you're trying to manifest anything at all. It's also a great time during new moons to pay attention to what is going on in your life, because this is a really good indicator what's going on in astrology in your chart, even if you've never done your astrology chart before, because the new moon tends to have like an exclamation point of the energy for where it's impacting us. So I personally have a Cancer rising. So I have a lot of Cancer in my first house of self. And I feel like I'm going through an identity leveling up or an identity shifting. I just was cleaning my office. I found 5 separate pieces of paper from 5 different journals that I ripped out when I either stored those journals away or threw them out or whatever I did with them, that all had like a list of the best version of me, the highest vibrational version of me. And it was this list of all the things that if I was living into my highest self or my highest good or my fullest potential, this is the list that it would be. And I went through that list really intentionally, all 5 pieces of paper yesterday, and wrote them down and refined them and clarified on them, and was able to sort of streamline that and get rid of it. But it's a really great time for me personally to be looking at my identity, who I am, how I'm showing up in the world, and what I want to be doing. If you have a Cancer rising, or if you have similar experiences right now, you may have a Cancer rising, but pay attention to where you're feeling it, because this energy of Cancer is also, in my opinion, an even better time to start setting intentions, because Cancer energy is incredibly nurturing. It is the mother of the zodiac. It is that really warm, nurturing, maternal energy. So when we're setting these intentions during this new moon in Cancer, we are really getting a like ready soil to plant the seed in. It's ready for us. It's ready to grow. It's ready to come to fruition. And all we have to do is continue to nurture it. So while we're in this season of nurturance, while we're in this season of we're able to nurture what we're trying to bring to fruition even more strongly right now, this is the best time to manifest. So think about what it is that you want to manifest. Think about what's unfolding in your life right now, what themes feel reoccurring at the moment where you're being pulled or tugged, or what's on your mind and your heart yesterday, today, tomorrow. I will also say that coming off of this experience of the 4th of July, it was also elections in the UK. We had elections in France. So there's like a lot of political energy also going on, but this idea of freedom or liberation or that sort of stamp of energy is also happening right now. So you also want to pair it. It's not necessarily something that always comes with Cancer energy, but like where you want to be liberated from potentially nurturing this idea, this thought, this feeling, an experience, something that you don't want to keep nurturing, but maybe you feel obligated or you feel stuck in that energy. Now we're getting that like extra breath or extra energy push to actually liberate ourselves from these old thoughts, patterns, belief systems. So it's even better. This energy of liberation kind of coming in and pairing with whatever theme or experience you might be feeling right now. So let's do a pick a pile. I'm going to pick 2 cards. I'm going to just cleanse the energy. I'm going to pick 2 cards and then I will give you the opportunity. That's 1. Oop, that doesn't want to come out. Okay. Oop. I just saw 1. Okay, that's 2. I was just told to do 3. Okay, and the 3rd one came out. So we'll do 3. This was 1, this was 2, and this was 3. So just go with your intuition, whichever one you felt most connected to. Let that be, you know, where you are called. So number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, I'm also going to mark down the time for us. Sorry, this is something I should have prepared first, but I didn't. So it's live. Hello, we're real human being. Great. So let's mark down the time for 1. Okay, great. Number 1, flow. Now, what I love about this is that it's a big, beautiful, full moon. So if you are attracted to the card number 1, the message for you feels to me like, ooh, really plant those seeds, because that first moon cycle that I was talking to you about, both in 2 weeks in Capricorn and then in 6 months when we get the full moon in Cancer during Capricorn season, to me, it feels like there is something that is pushing you to be in the cycles, the season, the flow of those cycles, so that you can actually bring whatever it is that you want to fruition. There's also a lot of purple here, which is connected to our crown chakra. So there is something that is being divined through your higher self. And because it's connected to the moon, there is something around moon energy that is not necessarily seen. It's potentially felt. It's more of the feminine energy if we were being archetypal, or like yin energy for being archetypal. Obviously not literally gendered, but energetic. And when it comes to all of this beautiful purple energy and it comes to the moon, it is something that we can't see, but that we're divining, that we're intuiting. And the moon is connected to our intuition, by the way, rules over Cancer energy, and Cancer is the intuit besides being the mother. So she has kind of a couple different, you know, archetypes that she plays. There's also a lot of water here. And there's 2 things that are very specific that are coming up for me. Number 1 is that you need to reflect, that moon reflecting onto the water here. You need to reflect about what emotional baggage you have been carrying around that is actually detracting from your goals, aspirations, and visions, and potentially holding you back from your higher self, the things that you actually need to move forward. The other thing is, when it comes to water, because it's connected to our emotional landscape, there is also an emotional drive to actually complete this cycle that you're in. And some of that is going to be reflecting and releasing and letting go, especially because the full moon is about releasing. But because we're in this new moon energy, this is like, okay, think about what it is that you no longer want to carry with you in this new cycle. Think about what it is that if you were going to plant the seed, potentially this thought, this belief, this feeling with all that water there is actually going to rot your roots. So think about what it is that is actually holding you back, and then think about what emotional patterns you need to supplement for that thought, that belief, that system, so that you can actually bring your goals, your dreams, and whatever it is that you're manifesting in this new moon energy to fruition. That was card number 1. Okay, great. Card number 2. Card number 2 was diligence. Now, I don't know what kind of bird this is. I'm going to say it's an albatross. I'm going to say it's an albatross because I know that albatrosses fly for 6 years and the word is diligence. I'm not sure if that's true or not, But I don't know if it's true that they fly for 6 years. I also don't know if it's true that that bird is an albatross, but we're just going to go with it, okay? Because I feel like that's the analogy here, that there is persistence in perspective, because when it comes to bird energy, we are seeing something from an elevated perspective. And if you even look, it's like being in an airplane, like when you're flying over a city or flying over a piece of land and you're getting that higher perspective from the airplane. That is what birds represent, but energetically. Obviously, they are literally up in the air, but they rule over our perspective, and being able to shift out of a perspective that we are currently attached to and elevating ourselves to a new perspective or a new way of seeing things. This is a great example of whatever it is that I feel like there's not clarity here. I don't know if that's going to be very specific for some of you, but in general, I am just feeling like there is something that you're not seeing clearly, that maybe you're excited about, but you don't have all the details, that maybe you thought was bad, but is actually good, or something that you thought was too good to be true. And it actually is. It's a little bad. It's not that great. It's not in alignment with you right now. There is something about how you're seeing things that needs to shift. There's not clarity, but there will be. So this is a great time if you're looking for an intention to set for this new moon. This is a great time to set the intention that you will see clearly and with honesty, that whatever information comes forward in the next 2 weeks is here to promote the clarity so that you can make a decision that will actually support your longest good, your highest good, but with longevity, because there is diligence. When you have the information that you need, you will be able to persevere because of perspective. I love that. I love that card. Okay, that was number 2. Okay, number 3, illumination. Illumination. Okay, there's a lot coming through with this card. For some of you, I'm just listening to what my guides are saying. I'm sorry. For some of you, I'm feeling like there's deceptive energy around you. Sorry if you pick number 3. But there feels to me like, whereas with number 2, there's something that you need to be able to see clearly, this to me feels very in front of your face. Like it's already being illuminated. You already have all of the details, but it almost feels like you're not making a decision in integrity with your highest good. And what I'm feeling here is that it's going to continue to become more and more obvious. People are going to be saying stuff to you. It's almost like this is very specific. This might be very specific for some of you, but it's almost like catching your partner cheating and then being like, that didn't happen. I didn't see that. It's like you're gaslighting yourself. Even though you have all of the details, all of the information that you need, all of the clarity that you need, it's obvious, it's in front of your face, you're witnessing it, and still you're not accepting it. And so even though this is illumination, to me, the real message here is about accepting what it is that's being illuminated for you. So, unfortunately, life doesn't move in this kind of la-di-da manner. We move through cycles and we move through seasons, and those are designed very specifically to help us go internally, externally, grow, reflect, learn, teach. We're going through cycles, peaks, valleys, right? We go through these different seasons and cycles so that we have space to do it all without feeling overwhelmed or on all the time. You don't always need to be in a season of growth. Sometimes you need to be in a season of rest so that whatever you have actually learned can simmer, can integrate. And for some of you, it feels like the path, like you thought your path was going this way, and all the universe is doing is like showing you that that's not the right path. The person is cheating. The job isn't fulfilling. They keep promising you, a raise, a promotion, a title, and like it's not coming. It's not coming. There's like blockages, delays. There's challenges, there's lack of fulfillment on this one path that you are almost like insisting on trekking, and it's being illuminated to you again and again. You're not supposed to be walking this path. You're supposed to be walking this other path. And so it's trying to redirect you in this in this new moon energy. But and this is a great time, what I just heard, it's a great time to nurture a new path, especially when you have witnessed that this path that you're trying to walk is not actually going to benefit you or not work in your favor. So at the harm of none and for the good of all, allow yourself to detach from what's no longer working. And that doesn't mean you need to like snip, because I think there is a lot of abrasiveness around like cutting people off, quitting the job, like so abrasive about making these choices. I'm not saying you need to do that right now. I'm saying it is a great time to see what has been illuminated to you again and again and have the epiphany, the aha moment that this thing isn't working, so that you can shift into this new path with grace and gentility, and start to nurture that path forward with grace and gentility. You don't need to make a harsh snip. You don't need to make a harsh turn. You simply need to just say, okay, I see what the universe is trying to show me again and again and again. I acknowledge it. I accept it. And now I can start to culminate a new path and a new experience in life. And I actually think if you can allow that to be illuminated for yourself over the next couple of days and you really follow that path forward, there is a lot of growth and expansion that is going to come from that. All right, everybody. Thank you for being with me today. Happy new moon in Cancer. Enjoy it. And I will see you guys soon.